Hi everybody, good morning and happy Thursday. It's Audrey. Welcome to day 6 of the Summer Scrapping Series. Thank you so much for being here. Today, my guest is one of my favorite scrappers to watch on YouTube, and that is Kat Martin. So please go check out her channel below. I am using the June 2018 Hip Kit Club Kit today, and we have a mood board this week. And I'm going to kind of take my inspiration from those paint strokes, the yellow and peach ones up at the top. So I have taken out some yellow mists and gelatos and paints, and I'm going to try working with the mists first. And I am going to use a sponge brush because I kind of want a watercolory look, and I didn't want paint strokes, or I didn't want to be able to see streaks, so I thought the sponge brush would cover very well. So I have just some packaging up at the top, and I know it's out of the screen here, but I'm dumping some ink on it. And I am just taking the sponge brush and soaking it in the mist, and then sliding it across the page. And I really, really love how that looks. I am using different yellows, and you can see the darker yellow there. I think that's the mustard Heidi Swapp Color Shine, and the other ones are some glimmer mists, I think. The yellows didn't look too different from each other, so I went back in and added a little bit of coral color to some of the yellow. And I really like how that came out. I'm also going to add a few splatters of those mists and different shades of yellow, again, and some coral across the middle. So here is my picture, and I loved this on that mood board and these paint strokes, and I loved that kind of inspiration for this sunset picture. And I really thought that those strokes in the background, especially with this coral piece I'm going to add in here, really kind of mimicked the look of a sunset. So I often have a hard time scrapping dark photos like this, like with silhouettes or sunsets, because I feel like because the photo is so dark, you sometimes have to use really bright and light backgrounds. So I think this one works for this photo. I'm going to go back in and just add a few more darker streaks of yellow in here. And I did not gesso this paper. So this is a piece of basil marshmallow cardstock, which is intended for mixed media, but I still should have gessoed it because I was really soaking it with the mists here, and it does get really warped. So, but I do like the way that it still spread, the color spread in the background. So I am going through some of the embellishments in the kit this month, and there's a lot. Well, I get all of the add-ons. So, the embellishment add-on, the Project Life add-on. So I have a lot to choose from. I picked out a few chipboard pieces there. They're from the new Pink Fresh Studios collection. I can't remember the name of it. It's probably right there in the packaging. And I'm sorting through the die cuts to see if there's anything I want to add on here. Again, I wanted to be careful not to add too many embellishments and too many colors because I really want the yellow to stand out. So I'm going to go through some of the just other things in the kit, the paper, and find yellow items that I can stick on the background. The big piece of chipboard down at the bottom that says the big word sunshine. On the side it says the whole thing says High on Sunshine, which I thought was an absolutely perfect title for this page because they're kind of jumping high and they're in the sunshine, in the sunset. So I thought that was really cute. There are some of these, I guess not enamel, but acrylic? What are they called? The little circle stickers. I can't think of the name right now. Anyway, there's little circle stickers, and again, just going to bring in some more circular items. I do move these around a little bit because I don't like the way that they are distributed. This is one of the Project Life cards in the kit, and I just went off screen. I'm fussy cutting out the sunshine from this Project Life card. I don't really use Project Life cards as is. Sometimes I punch, a journaling spot out of them, or I'll fussy cut something out of them to use on a page, but I don't really use the cards as is. I guess that should be a challenge to myself for me to try to use the cards as is on a page. So these little banner pieces, one is a chipboard and one is a die cut, and I liked them both, and I considered using them both. because they're both super cute and I love the colors to pick up. Also, notice, I guess I must have done this off screen, behind my white cardstock, I've put a piece of patterned paper and it kind of has like polka dots. I thought maybe adding just a little bit of color around the outside edge would be, I don't know, just a little bit more fun, but not take away too much from the paint design. So keep an eye on that actually, because I'm going to change that out again too. So I didn't really have too many other yellow things I could add that I thought fit with the theme of my photo. However, I had these gold stickers. I think these are also Pink Fresh Studio. And there's, leaves and sayings and frames, and some of these curved leaf pieces fit perfectly around the curved yellow cardstock that I had cut out. So I'm gonna put those around the circular pieces, and then the title Amazing. And you see I switched out my background paper there to the stripes instead of the polka dots. And I went back and forth between polka dots and stripes, polka dots and stripes. And I off camera, I kept switching it in and out, and I couldn't decide. So I ended up liking the stripes better, and I keep the stripes, but the polka dots were cute too. But I love all these papers in this, and this color combo is beautiful. So I felt like because I'm going to put the stripes on the left and the top that I needed a little bit more color over on the right. So I found these chipboard arrows. I guess it's more like a chevron pattern. They are on the chipboard sheet, also from Pink Fresh, and they have all the colors in it that are on the stripes. So I'm going to put those there and have them point towards the picture. And I'm going to start gluing stuff down. So I'm going to glue down that coral piece of patterned paper. I'm going to glue down these chipboard arrows. I started using glue. Well, I tried to remember to use glue on my chipboard pieces because they often fall off, especially if I have a background that's gessoed. I find that stickers don't really stick to gesso very well, but this one wasn't gessoed. But then I also decided that I was going to stitch over these, so I didn't really need to add any extra glue. So I added some craft foam to the back of my photo. I'm going to glue that down. Glue these circles underneath. And just stick this stuff down. That was my label for my date, which I again forgot to stamp when you go see the close-ups at the end. I forgot to put the date on it. I don't know why I forget that so much, but I do that a lot on my pages. I do go back in and put the date though, even after the video's done. What else? Yeah, so I'm just going to glue here. When I put foam behind the photo, and then I put, the chipboard on top of the photo, and then I have the circular element on top of the photo, I oftentimes have to put extra foam squares behind, the top level of embellishments just to make them even in line with each other so that they're not, at different levels. So I really wanted to save a lot of this background paper, but because my white cardstock was so warped, I didn't think that I could cut off any more of the stripe. That I needed to be glued down to another piece of paper to make it not so warped. So I'm going to sacrifice this whole piece of paper and put it behind the white cardstock. I hate doing that. I really want to use bits of it and save as much as I can, but in this case I think I just had to because my top paper was so warped. But luckily I have another sheet of that striped paper, I think, so it's not all a loss. I'm going to distress the edges of this white cardstock, which I forgot to do before I glued it. I should have used my edge distresser, but I end up using my scissors and my fingers. And I don't really do too much else besides gluing down the rest of these items here. I was debating on whether or not to actually put that word amazing on there because it was getting a little crowded down in that corner. And that little yellow lemon piece all the way over to the left, I cut from a piece of patterned paper. And when I took it off to start gluing things down, I put it somewhere. And do you think I could find where I put it? No. So I had to turn the camera off and search for 20 minutes just to find that one little piece, which just was stuck underneath something on my desk. And I decided to pick out this little journaling tag and put that in there as well. So where we are on the lake, we face the west shore. So we're on the east shore of the lake. And we get absolutely gorgeous sunsets just about every night. And the sun doesn't set completely. I mean, it's still light out at like 9 p.m. I would say it sets probably around between 8:15 and 8:30. But I guess we're going to be downhill now because we just had the longest day of the year, right? Yesterday. So so anyway, yeah, we're out until the sun goes down, playing and dancing and swimming and whatever else. So last little bits here, after I get everything down, is I'm just going to stitch around the white cardstock with some yellow thread. I don't show you that here in the video, but you'll see it in the close-ups. I add a couple of these enamel dots, mostly the yellow ones, and a couple of the coral peachy colored ones on that piece of pattern paper. And I add my journaling, and I think that's about it. So I think I captured that mood board, that one image in the mood board pretty good. And I'm really happy the way that this came out. And I love that technique of using the sponge brush with the mist. So I will try that again. Thank you so much for stopping by. I hope you enjoyed day 6. The first week will wrap up tomorrow with day 7. So see you then. Stay scrappy, friends.